And now you're caught up. Kind of a downer where I was at in life, but hey, it's about the journey to happiness. You know, like the name of this channel? Yeah. So, I take off, traveling south. First stop, the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. This video, though, is about a pit stop I made to see my godmother, who lives close to Philly, and I really just don't get to see enough. She's climbed the corporate ladder as a woman back in the Mad Men openly sexist past days. Let's just stop for a second and think about how frustrating that must have been for her. Totally sucks. So, walking through that fire and coming out the other side successful, I have always had a lot of respect for her, because anyone in their right mind knows that that's gotta be really hard. We had lunch, it was great. Then as I was leaving, I asked her to give 3 pieces of advice that I can share with young women trying to make it in their career. Here's what she said. Get a job that's measurable?
Highly measurable, so that people can show that they're doing the job.
That way it's not just subjective.
And then don't try to outmen the men.
Could you elaborate on that?
There are some women that try to be tough and use bad language and be macho. You can't do that because you're not a man. So don't try to do that. Don't try to act like a toughie. Just try to act like yourself. And a lot of people make that mistake.
And just be confident in who you are?
You have to be confident in who you are, but it's just how you carry it off. And then don't draw clothing that does anything other than advance your career. So don't wear kicky clothing or cocktail party stuff. Wear lovely, fine-lined clothes, but don't be out in any way outlandish. You can stand out from the crowd because your clothes are beautiful, but don't stand out the crowd because they're inappropriate.
Okay.
Those are the 3 things I would say.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Good luck.
I think that's some really powerful advice. Let's break it down. Dress so you feel confident, powerful, wear nice, fine-line clothing, but there's a difference between something you'd wear on a date and something you'd wear to an office. Be professional and don't wear what you'd wear to a cocktail party, so the focus is never distracted from your ability. Her next piece of advice was, don't try and outmen the men. My godmother is in her 7th decade of life, so she's seen a lot. And what I get from that is, don't try and change who you are just to fit into the group. Granted, most men in my life I've met are much more aggressive than most of the women I've met in my life, and it's very natural. When you feel outnumbered in a room, the pressure to conform to fit in is enormous. And that's just human nature. But I think that you should take the hard road and be true to yourself, because to have a thriving company, things need to be looked at from every angle. And staying true to who you are and offering maybe a less aggressive point of view, it might be the very thing that company has been missing all along, and you'll end up being the hero and getting the promotion. Stay true to who you are. It's gotten you this far. And lastly, in my opinion, this is the best takeaway that women, or really anyone who's trying to make a name for themselves, should pay attention to if they're trying to do big things. Make sure your job is highly measurable. Make sure there's statistics where you can say, this is how it was when I started, and here's my impact. You know, this is what I've done to help. Look at these numbers. You can't argue with that. If your performance is measured, now you have a basis to go off of. And it'd be a lot harder to promote someone from the good old boys club, you know, just because they can relate more to that person over you, because now you have the numbers to back up why you deserve that spot. Track your statistics and ride those numbers all the way to the top. You know, it's really interesting to get pieces of advice from people who are over 70 years old, because times have changed considerably since that decade. But I really do think that her pieces of advice are tried and true, and it made me a little bit happier to know that now I had some information that could help 50% of the planet succeed. So, thanks, Godmother. So, yeah, that's the end. Okay, bye.